Hey everybody, it's Craig back to here, and in this video we're going to have a closer look at a couple of LED lights that you can use for both video and for photography. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Falcon Eyes RX-24 TDX, and the second one is a mini Fresnel. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, and that one is the P5TD. So we're going to have a look at both of these lights. Now they both have different uses, so we'll talk about that in this video. We're going to talk about the brightness levels. We're going to use a light meter so we can really gauge how bright they are. So instead of just saying this is a really bright light, I'll let you know exactly what aperture you can shoot with this light at what distance. Now let's start talking about the Falcon Eyes 24. Now it's 24 inches on each side, so it's about 2 feet by 2 feet, or if you're using metric, it's about 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters. So it's a good lighting source for a key light. Now this comes with a softbox as well as a diffusion panel and a grid. So right now I have it set up with the grid and the diffusion. So I'm using the softbox. Now the setting I have right now is only at 15% brightness. Now I have a remote control. It's called the RC3T. Now you can remotely control this light as well. So I'm going to give you some measurements so you can sort of quantify this. And then stick around because we're going to be talking about the mini Fresnel light, and that's the P5TD. All right, so let's take a measurement. So I'm using a Falcon light meter, and right now I'm shooting at 24 frames per second, ISO 100, and then if I take a shot of this here, I have f2. So my shutter speed is at 50. So shutter speed 50 on my camera, 24 frames per second, ISO 100, and then at 15% brightness, I get f2. So I set my camera to that. So that's only at 15% brightness. Now with this remote control, I can raise this. So I'll give you an idea. The light's about 3 feet from me right now with the grid. Now if I use this remote control, I could take it up. Let's take it up to 100%, and I'll take a quick measurement and we'll go back down because I'm going to be blown out for this. But at 100%, if I take a light meter reading, it's 4.5. So that gives you an idea at about 3 feet from you at 24 frames per second, shutter speed 50, you can get about a 4.5 aperture out of this. Now you can also use this for photography. I did a little test. Now if you set your camera to ISO 100, shutter speed 100, at about 3 feet away you can get f2.8. If you bring this in closer, you can get about f5.6 for your aperture. So you can use this for both videography, so for lighting interviews as a key light or even a fill light. And you can also use this as a key light for photography. So it's got some pretty good uses for that. It also comes with a carrying case, so you can pack this up and you can take this on location. Now you can also use a V-mount battery with this, so you could use this as a fill light as well if you're shooting outdoors. That's optional. You'll have to purchase that separately. And then you can also get an adapter that will allow you to use Sony batteries. I did a small test with a couple of Sony batteries. It didn't last that long. It was about 12 minutes at full brightness. So I'd recommend going with a V-mount battery for this. But anyway, let's talk about the mini Fresnel light. Now you can get different options for this. Right now I have it attached with a snoot, and I'll give you a couple examples. I'll have it pop up that you can see. With the snoot you get a certain diameter. Now you can use this as a kicker light or a bit of a rear lighting light. So right now I'm using it as just a hair light. So let me just take this down and then you can see how this light looks just on my hair. So you can see this is just sort of a kicker light here to just sort of separate me from the background a bit, just like you would for photography. Now I'll take the main light back up. Now that was set at about 20% brightness, so that's also a very bright light. And you can get quite bright with that. Now there's different attachments for the snoot as well, so you can restrict that circle or that diameter. And you can also get a wide assortment of attachments for that. You can change that look with different plastic colors, so blue and orange and things like that. You can also get a softbox for that light as well. But if you're looking for a simple 2-light setup to bring on location, they both come with their own carrying bags. You can pack these up and you can use them to do interviews. You can also do some behind-the-scenes wedding footage, things like that. Or if you're a YouTuber like myself, this is a great key light. I have it set right here. It's out of the shot, but I've got the grid so I don't have a lot of light spilling everywhere. And then I'm able to use this little kicker light here to just sort of separate me from the background. Now if I wanted to have some fill, I could just bring in a reflector right here and I could bounce some of that light to fill here, but I just want to sort of give myself a little bit of dimension. So my light is just about 45 degrees, slightly tilted down to me, and I think it's a pretty effective light source, really. Now as far as some specs, I've got some on my phone here. I'll just go over some of the specs so I don't miss them. Now it's 62 by 62 centimeters. It's 150 watts worth of power. It's got 756 LED lights. So this is the bicolor light, the 24 TDX. Now by bicolor it means that you have sort of the yellower kind of LEDs and then the white ones. So at 5600 it's all just white lights, but if we go down to 5500 then you'll see the yellow lights kick in, and then of course it's all yellow at about 3200. Now it works with a V-mount battery as well, and there's also an adapter that allows you to use Sony batteries. Like I said, I did a small test with 2 Sony batteries. It was only about 12 minutes on full power, so you'd want to go with a V-mount battery for that. Now the CRI rating is 95 for this light. Now let's talk about the mini Fresnel light, the P5TD. Now that's a 100 watt light, and its output power is 50 watts, and the color temperature is 3000 to 5600. And the CRI is 95 on that as well. And with the different attachments, you can really constrict that light to use it just as a little kicker light. And you can use these both for photography and videography. So why would you want to use these, say, instead of a strobe light? Well, with constant lighting like this, it allows you to see the light a little bit better. So if you're shooting indoors, you don't need a super powerful light source. So you could use this with AC power, and you could really move this around and really see what's happening with the light. So that's one advantage to using this for photography, as well as the kicker light. Now, it's more primarily designed for video, but you can use it for both. So if you're a hybrid shooter, this is a really good setup. I'll post some links down below where you can find out more about these lights. So again, this key light that I'm using right now is the Falcon Eyes RX-24 TDX, and the mini Fresnel light that I'm using as a kicker light is the Falcon Eyes P5TD. So I'll put some links below. You can find out more about those. You can find these on Amazon. It's really a reasonable price considering that you get a carrying case, that you get a softbox with it, that you get diffusion and a grid. It's really a great light. I'm going to be using this as my main light for my YouTube videos from now on, as well as I'm going to be using this sort of as a kicker light. And I'm also going to do a future video. If you'd like to see it, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see me do a portrait shoot using these 2 lights as my only light source. So if you're interested in seeing that portrait shoot video using these LED lights, let me know in the comment section below and I'll make sure I do that in the near future. Alright, thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, just hit that subscribe button and then hit that bell notification so you get email updates when I release my weekly video. Alright, thanks again for watching. Let me know what you think of these lights in the comment section below, and let me know if you want to see a portrait shoot using these 2 lights. Alright, thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.